So I look like I belong in the premium economy that I bought, but really I'm wearing fancy sweatpants.
Look at
Dang.
this business lady.
I'm
JK.
a business girl.
JK, she's
I'm
a marine biologist
scientist.
in her sweatpants. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Midlight Crisis, a real podcast hosted by three grown-up biologists revisiting books from our teens, and it's totally cool. I am one of your hosts, Sophie, and today I come from an illustrious lineage of job havers who are from a place, and the job that I have and the place that I am from is an ocean diver from the city of Warcraft.
Oh my god.
Did you rigged it?
I didn't.
You rigged it.
It's right here. It's still sitting on the screen. I'll screenshot it and I'll send it to you.
Don't believe you.
The last one you clicked got me to this one, so it's your fault if you think about it.
Sure.
A likely story.
Uh-huh.
I know. I don't know what to tell you. I guess from the way that we make these things, it is possible to just get the words that are supposed to go together.
It is true.
Yeah. You actually said
That's right there. I'm
Just
just
I believed you. I was just being a shithead.
Interesting that it's the city of Warcraft and not the world. What's the city called?
Yeah, that's the only incorrect part because there's just like so many cities. We're like
They just
11
didn't
expansions in. They've added like so many cities. I don't know what to tell you.
Huh. And which one of them do you go diving in?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably Najatar because that one's underwater.
Okay, I'm unasking that question.
Well,
I
let me
was like,
get started.
what?
So Stormwind has a
No.
pretty good ocean front.
I think there's
Oh.
someone
Orgrimmar
else,
is
right?
landlocked,
Who's
though.
the other
So,
person who
my
lives
name
in your
is
house?
Sam, and I'm a ghost quibbler from the igloo of beach.
Ghost Quibbler!
Wow.
A ghost quibbler
Oh my
Ghost
God.
Quibbler, I like that. That's fun.
from the igloo of beach.
Wow, is Ken there?
Yeah, Canadian Ken.
At first, I was like, "You can't have an igloo on the beach," and then I remembered I have been to Iqaluit,
Yeah, I
where
was
there
gonna
are
say.
beaches in the Arctic.
It's -1 today, and we have beaches. I don't know.
Listen,
We
my
could bet.
brain
Yeah,
is broken.
no, that's
Yeah.
fair. I'm
No critical thoughts are happening.
That's fine. I'm obsessed with a ghost quibbler.
That's really good.
Quibbler.
It's really
like-
good.
I like the idea that that's like how you like manage ghosts, or
I
like,
like that it's your job.
yeah, like that's
Yeah.
how ghosts, you keep them from like getting up to a ruckus. Like you have to
Yeah.
just like quibble with them over like super minor things. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Prevent the
technically,
ruckus.
no, sorry, you died on the staircase, not the main floor. So actually, you can't haunt the main floor. You can only haunt the staircase.
Oh my god. Ghost lawyering.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Wow, what a good job. You're doing great work.
Right?
Yeah, that sounds
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah.
I try really hard.
hmm there can't be that many ghosts in an igloo on the beach. So hopefully it's a pretty easy job.
I mean,
Well,
I feel like the people who have been making igloos on beaches have been here for 10,000 years, so I feel like that's plenty
Oh,
of
good
time
point.
for a lot of ghosts.
Yeah, good point. I was thinking modern for some reason.
No, ye olden
No.
time ghosts included.
Yeah,
Unless they've
right.
been quibbled out of existence. I don't know.
You quibbled him so hard.
quibbled.
Quibble the ghosts into the afterlife.
Yeah.
Quibble, quibble.
You know, I could probably be quibbled into like going to heaven. I'd be like, nah, fuck
Yeah.
this. My unfinished business is not worth this.
Right. If you're too annoying, they'll just leave.
Yeah, I don't have time for this. I could just go to heaven or hell, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a secret third thing, who knows?
Secret third thing. It's not a secret. It's called purgatory.
Purgatory. Isn't that what you would be escaped? Like, isn't purgatory where the ghosts live? Isn't that?
Purgatory is just where you wait. to get sorted.
Oh.
It's like the Fields of Asphodel, I think, where you just like are there.
Wait, is
Well-
it not in Christian hell? There isn't a purgatory?
Yes, there is purgatory in Christianity, but it's just like the waiting room.
Ah.
And can you go to heaven or hell from purgatory?
I think so. Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember if you can go somewhere else or if it's just like you're not extreme enough for either, so you're just here in the gray zone forever.
Yeah, they
I
didn't
can't
put
remember.
dollar bills over your eyes or whatever, so you can't afford to take
Yeah.
the boat across. I think
Yeah.
purgatory, I'm basing this off of a vibe only. I'm not looking anything up. I think purgatory is you wait to get sorted into the different parts of hell.
Oh, is it? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
No, I actually think it is that you like weren't Christian and they're like, well, go to purgatory.
Yeah, you just have to sit there for all eternity.
Yeah, because you didn't believe in Jesus enough. Okay,
Anyway,
who's the last one?
I'm here. I believe in Jesus exactly the right amount. My name is Hannah,
What's
and
the right
I
amount?
am yeah, you know.
Okay.
I am a fresco oiler from the hamlet of Waffles. Which I
Oh,
will
what-
say, when the word fresco oiler popped up as like one word on my screen, I was like,
Frescoiler.
I can't read this. What does it say? It was like frescoolier.
Yep.
It's like, surely.
This can't be
Surely
real.
that's not anything. But I think it was fresco oiler.
A fresco Eiler.
Fresco oiler from the hamlet of Waffles.
Wow. So do you oil them with butter because of the waffles or maybe maple syrup?
Oh. I don't think maple syrup counts as an oil.
Damn, I really want waffles now.
Ooh, I could go for a waffle.
So are the frescoes of Jesus? Is that why you brought up Jesus right before?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah. Are frescoes, is that like a lunchroom art? Because I'm thinking of how you have
do you
lunch
mean?
like al fresco.
No.
What does al fresco mean then?
I don't know.
Well, then why is it
A
the same word as a fresco?
I could not tell you.
Okay, then don't
like,
laugh at me
art-
like my question's dumb, okay?
Well, the art version of fresco means you paint in like wet plaster so that the color lasts longer. And I
Okay.
assume that that's not what the...
You make your sandwich out of
fresco
wet
just-
plaster.
Doesn't fresco just mean flat? Nope, fresh.
Doesn't it just mean fresh? Yeah.
Al fresco dining. Oh,
Now we
al
have to look it
fresco's
up.
eating outside. That's
Yeah,
not what I thought it was.
I actually did know that part.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Maybe, because it's like fresh eating.
Fresh air.
Yeah.
in
And then
Italian.
fresco is fresh art. This art is fresh.
This art is so fresh. Well, because you put it on the fresh plaster. You have to do it before the plaster dries.
Oh, it's all coming together.
Yeah. Apparently, despite the fact that al fresco comes from Italian words, in Italian it means going to jail.
Oh, wait.
So don't...
Eat lunch al fresco in jail.
It means you're having lunch in jail, apparently.
Damn.
So I guess we've all learned something here today. Don't ask for al fresco when you're in Italy.
Right. This is like how Starbucks words are just absolute nonsense in Italy, right?
Are they? They're
Yeah.
nonsense to me in Canada as well.
Well, I think it's that tall, grande, and venti are just big in 3 different languages.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
Why is one of the sizes not big?
I think that's what tall is.
Yeah.
But tall is just like tall, you know?
Yeah.
But big is different.
Like, there's a reason that it took me like a year to understand how to order something at Starbucks. I was like, tall isn't the biggest size? What's going on?
Yeah, it took me multiple years.
Anyway,
I always just ordered the equivalent of a medium and they understood what I wanted.
yeah, that's the better way to do it
Yeah.
rather than accidentally going to a different cafe and ordering a grande, and then you're just really embarrassed.
Yeah. I went to Second Cup today and I literally checked 3 times before I ordered that it said small, medium, large on the board and not
Yeah. Grande.
grande, venti, whatever the other one is.
Bad
Isn't there one
order.
in between
tall,
those?
Tall is the small one.
Tall is the small one. Grande is
Grande
the
is
medium
medium.
one. Isn't there another one?
Nope.
Is there one in between?
No.
I
There's
made
a-
that up.
There's Trenti,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is above a venti.
Yeah, that's the big
I
one.
think.
I think you're right.
That's how
Yeah.
you fill
Anyway.
a
I
big
don't think
cup.
that's like I feel like it's not like that's not officially on their menu.
Yeah.
But like
Oh.
I don't know for sure.
That's what I'm gonna get for my birthday drink next when you get your like free drink at Starbucks on your
Oh,
birthday.
yeah.
Get a Trenty.
Get a Trenty cold brew and I will vibrate out of my skin.
Yeah.
Just like save it, like go home and then like
Pour
pour
some out,
some of
yeah.
it. Yeah, and then you've got coffee for 2 days.
Subscribe for
Listen.
more
Life
more
hacks.
chain coffee hacks.
Anyway, the reason we're just waffling around here is because we didn't have very much chapter to talk about today. It definitely wasn't a huge chapter.
It's so big.
So long.
Anyway, but yeah, the chapter to which I'm referring to is, of course, the reason we have jobs and are from places is because we're reading City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Logical next step, right? So anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
we're getting close to the end here, but we had, as always, one chapter to read this week. Week? Episode? What day is it?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. We read one chapter and somebody's going to tell us what happened in it. Very concisely, because it definitely wasn't way too long.
Yeah. I didn't like map it, but this might be the longest chapter we've ever had.
Yeah.
So, go grab a snack, get a glass of water, get comfy.
Yeah, while listening to this edited podcast.
Well, while listening to me summarize this chapter.
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 22, Renwick's Ruin, brings us back into the action in a major way. I was thinking about Maximum Ride when
Yeah,
I wrote this summary, I guess. Clary tries to process the revelations from Luke in the previous chapter, like the fact that her dad isn't some guy named Jonathan Clark, but is in fact Valentine, and that she had an older brother named Jonathan Christopher, who is for sure dead.
Yeah.
Anyway,
definitely.
she and Luke and the wolf pack are ready to hunt Valentine down, and they deduce that he's holed up in an abandoned asylum, because of course he is.
Mm-hmm.
When they arrive there, Luke and the wolves battle a pack of Forsaken to get them to the door. Inside, they find Clary's mom Jocelyn under some kind of Sleeping Beauty spell, and while Luke is fighting Valentine's henchmen, Clary runs off upstairs. She is mysteriously drawn to a room where she finds Jace mysteriously washed, bandaged, and wearing clean clothes. He tells Clary that Luke is going to have to call off the werewolves because he's not actually in any trouble. He is, in fact, with his dad, who is Valentine.
What?
Lol,
What a
lol,
reveal.
lol.
I
my first note says, Chaper is a fucking doozy, my guys.
What the what?
Sorry, can you say that again? I actually didn't hear you.
I don't know if I can.
Okay.
It says, Chaper is a fucking doozy, my guys.
What's Chaper?
Chaper?
It's a typo.
Oh, chapter.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I see.
Chaper.
My first note is, oops, exclamation part, it's incest.
Mine was, oh, look, wolf things are true.
Hey.
Hey,
We're so good at taking notes.
we take really good notes.
Listen, I, obviously knew it was coming, so I just, I hated reading this
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Because, I hate this part of it. This isn't what makes the book good, and, I hate this subplot so much.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you referring to the incest part or the
I'm
rest of
referring
it?
to the incest,
Okay.
yes.
Well,
just making
The
sure.
incest is in the room with us.
is
I am
the
discussing
incest
it.
in the room. Yeah, look, we're just going to address it up top.
Oh,
The book has pretend it's not actually incest, and eventually we'll figure out how it's not incest. But
Yeah.
I mean, even without the incest, that's the middle of the chapter. I'm not gonna get there yet.
Okay.
No, we're gonna do this chronologically.
Yeah. The first chronological point of note I have is they talk about who Jonathan Clark is.
Oh yeah, my first note is just sort of right before that because
you
my note isn't that important. It just says, "Wow, fuck off, Luke," because
Yeah.
he's told her this life-altering, devastating information, and he's like, "Say something, Clary," and she's like, "What do you want me to say?" And he's like, "Maybe that you understand," and he it says he sighed, which I read as he's disappointed in her. And I'm like, what a fucking manipulative thing to do. Oh, you need to make my feelings feel better. I don't care how you're feeling right now. Make me feel better for having lied to you this whole time. All right. Fuck off, Luke.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I realized though when reading this is like him and Jocelyn are like 30. Like
Okay,
so
that's
he's
fair.
still like
Oh.
a dumb man.
Yeah.
Cuz like
Well-
I'm lucky to be with like a good 30-year-old man, but like there's still a lot of like really dumb 30-year-olds out there.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
they committed to this plan when they were 19.
Yeah.
Like they started
Yeah.
lying to Clary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not forgiving any of it, but like as I was reading it I realized I'm like they're like the adults in this book are like our age.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty young, huh?
Is
Because
wild.
Jocelyn was pregnant with Clary when she was like 20. 20?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think around that. I think maybe like even younger because like they got married right out of school. Like I think the implication was that she was like 18 or 19 when she had
Yeah.
like Jonathan
Yeah.
or Jace.
What?
It wasn't Jace, in case you didn't know.
I'm right.
So yeah, she would have been like 20 or something when she had Clary, which means she's max like 35,
Yeah.
36 right now.
Yeah.
So still like they're a bit older than us.
But again,
but like
yeah.
they've been building this lie for
yeah.
15 years, and like at some
Yeah.
point probably 5 years ago they probably started thinking, fuck, like she's
Yeah.
like Clary's a whole ass person now, and like
Yeah.
how, like, are we gonna keep, like, when do we tell her, like, are we gonna tell her? Like, I feel like part of it's that Jocelyn just actually wanted to forget, like she never wanted this
Yeah.
world to come back, and so best
Yeah.
case scenario, her lies never get found out because like she never has to tell Clary about the Shadowhunters, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That does make me wonder if Luke's kind of cavalier response is because he has thought about this for so long that he has like forgotten that it's new to
Yeah.
her, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
No, that's
yeah,
fair. Yeah.
100%.
Because like if I was in this situation, I would probably have spent the last like 15 years preparing for this conversation.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
and you're like reciting your reasons in your head, so your reasons
Yeah.
probably feel rock solid at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that can be true, and also
Yeah, it can also be
he
shitty.
can still suck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, all things are true.
Yeah.
I just more wanted to point out that, like,
No, that's
yeah, they're
fair.
young.
I guess he's in almost closer to 40, but anyways, men are always dumb.
Sam said it, not me.
As a straight woman. Except my man.
Yeah,
He's
except that
not
one.
dumb.
Yeah.
He's a good one.
Yeah.
All other
Yeah.
men are dumb.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's
Hopefully
just the
there's
one.
like a couple more out there.
Yeah, like
There are a
ideally.
few. No, there
All
are.
of the ones in this book are dumb, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had like forgotten that we had just confirmed to ourselves that Valentine was Clary's dad and that she still didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah.
But like they had that whole conversation where they were like Jocelyn was married to Valentine and had a kid. And
Mhm.
I guess we had like in the book Clary was like, well, that was definitely a different kid and it wasn't me.
Yeah.
No, because I've talked about this
Yeah.
before, because I'm just like, she was in such denial about it. Like, you found out your mom was married to Valentine. I don't understand how your first thought wasn't, oh my God, is that my dad?
Especially
Like,
when it was like 16 years ago. Like she doesn't have
Yeah.
time to meet a new guy and get pregnant. Like she would have
Clary's
had to
like,
hit the ground running.
yeah. Clary's like 15-year-old, 16-year-old sheltered naivety is like on full display in
Mhm.
this chapter. Like,
Yeah.
there's a few other instances, but it's just like, girl.
Yeah.
Like,
Clary's naivete and the fact that she hasn't slept for like
Yeah, I
8
was
days.
gonna say.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's a point somewhere in this chapter where she's like, "Oh, I'm surprisingly tired," and I was like, "Yeah, are you?"
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
I wonder
No
why.
kidding.
Why could that be?
Hmm.
Hmm.
No idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Jonathan Christ. I mean, Clark.
Lol.
Yeah, very sneaky that JC is both Clary's fake dad and her dead brother. So sneaky.
Yeah, I'm guessing Jocelyn specifically picked someone with the same first name and initials so that she could, like, mourn in her own way without having to hide that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I obviously have not lost a child, but I feel like having to, like, change the name in order to mourn, like, in your own home would
true.
just be, like, a whole other level of feeling like they were erased, you know?
Yeah. That's
so
fair.
I totally get why she would be like, yes, my husband, Jonathan C.
Yeah.
It's like, then you can mourn your actual grief over someone named Jonathan without having to, like, hide that.
That's fair. I was just really creeped out that this guy, Jonathan Clark, did actually die, and she got commissioned to paint a memorial portrait of him.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm going to steal this man's identity. I was like, I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
It's creepy.
'Cause,
But,
like,
you know, I guess she had a good reason.
yeah.
And it's not like that would have been a problem if Clary had gone and tried to find Jonathan Clark's family, but she didn't. So, like, no actual harm done. It's just weird.
Yeah. Like, I guess her thought process was probably like, if Clary ever looks this guy up, he existed, right? She didn't just, like, make someone up, but...
Yeah, and he did die the way Jocelyn told her he died. But yeah.
Yep.
Creepy.
Anyway.
Back to the subject of, like, Luke being kind of deservedly called out or being shitty, is Clary's like, I can't believe my mom was married to an evil overlord. And Luke was like, well, he wasn't evil to begin with. And Claire's like, no, he was a creepy white power guy. And I'm like, yeah, like...
Yeah, like, actually.
Luke, you deserve to be called out for participating in a fascism. Like,
yeah, like, even if
Come on, man.
it worked its way up to that. I mean, okay, to be fair, no, wait. No, yeah, Luke left before he werewolfed because he didn't like what?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he
No, he didn't.
Oh, who left?
We had thought that nobody left before that. Like, we had thought that Luke left beforehand, or at least I had thought that. But we confirmed in the last chapter that he was still with the Circle when he got werewolfed, and Valentine pushed him out because he is racist.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought...
Like, he said he was doubting it, but he didn't do anything
right.
about
He didn't actually leave. Okay, that's... Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer.
That's a bummer.
But Luke kind of has some questionable morals, it turns out.
Well, and also, like, I don't know, the reason cult leaders are cult leaders is because they can manipulate people really well. I'm not saying it's, like, fine that Luke got caught up in it for so long up until it was, like, real bad. But the only reason he left is because Valentine kicked him out. You know, it's like he didn't even leave of his own volition.
Yeah. To Sam's point about, like, their ages now, this all happened when he was, like, 18, which is annoying but understandable.
Well, it kind of parallels the, like, mass amount of Gen Z that has let the world down.
Yeah.
Let's
well,
not
it's the
talk about
grooming
that now.
of the grooming of young American
way.
men.
Yeah. Like, it's...
Yeah, it's the male loneliness epidemic, but it happened in Idris.
History repeats itself. You know history, Idris?
You know history in Idris? Turns out fiction repeats itself too.
Turns out.
Yeah.
Turns out. Anyway.
Yeah. Look, I'm just gonna also say it sucks that Jace is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
In this chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking sucks.
Oh my god, I'm so mad about that. We'll get there, but what the fuck, man?
But what the fuck, man? Yeah, no, we're doing this chronologically, but fuck that.
Fuck that. Down with
men.
All of this. Men.
Anyway, we get some werewolf content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke's questionable morals, where he basically takes over a wolf pack in order to go save Jocelyn. Oh, but he doesn't love her. It's okay.
Yes. And also, he has to take over the wolf pack by murdering the former leader in cold blood. That's wild.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, for all that, like, he's like, I mean, rightfully dresses Clary down for being like, oh, and fucking downworlders.
Yeah.
He is kind of treating them the same way, even though he is one.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, I'll just, murder a fucking downworlder and then take over, and then they'll have to follow me. It's like, okay, well.
Yeah. And specifically, I'm going to murder one to take over this group so that I can, like, lead them on a suicide run,
Yeah.
essentially. And it's like, I don't think that's a good thing to do. I do, like, in fiction, I do love this kind of morality where it's like, I will let the world burn for my own goals. Like, I find
Yeah.
that really interesting. But it is, like, a shitty thing to do as a person.
Yeah. Tell me you liked the Poppy War without telling me you liked the Poppy War.
Listen, it's interesting.
See, I think I'm with Hannah. I find it very interesting as well. But I need to, like, somewhat believe
Yeah.
in the cause. You know what I mean? Like, with
Yeah.
the Poppy War specifically, right? Like, she's fighting for, like,
A reason.
a better...
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
she
they're at
wants a
war.
better world, and she's willing to, like, do pretty heinous things to get that, which is, like, a whole morality thing. Like, and I think I like that as well. But I don't enjoy it as much when I don't agree with,
Yeah.
like, why. Like, yeah.
Well,
I
like,
don't know.
it just sort of means that the reasoning wasn't presented to you well enough, or
Yeah.
the reasoning isn't there and it's purposeful, right? Like,
Yeah.
this could be designed to make you be like, oh, Luke, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think also in this context, specifically compared to something like the Poppy War, it's just kind of presented as a fact. And it's like, you don't really care about either, like, army, because we don't know these wolves. We don't care about the
Yeah.
Forsaken, because they're, like, corrupted people. There's no consideration of the fact that, like, this is a very extreme action to take. It's just like, Luke did this. Anyway, on to the battle. And it's like, oh, hold on.
Yeah, and it's not like
Yeah.
a pack that Luke has been, like, bonding with for a while.
Yeah.
So he probably won't even care that much if they die.
Yeah. Yeah, he just found them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's...
Luke is a lot more unlikable than I remember.
I mean, I still maybe... No. I'm
You're
definitely
biased because of the movie.
I'm biased because the movie has, in my opinion, the most attractive actor in it
Yeah.
playing Luke.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get me, specifically.
Yeah.
I think it makes him a more interesting character that he is on this, like, boundary line of morality, where, like, clearly he's the quote-unquote good guy because he's Clary's, like, substitute parent and, like,
Yeah.
is trying to help her and is trying to help Jocelyn and is fighting against Valentine, who's the actual bad guy. But he is, like, very willing to, like, say that Clary and Jocelyn didn't matter to him. He's willing to literally murder somebody and, like, send a bunch of people he doesn't really know to their deaths. Like, it's kind of interesting.
He's willing to let all of these wolves die, but he doesn't want Clary to murder Valentine.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Because he loves him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this man thinks with his emotions.
He only cares about people
Yeah.
who he knows.
Yeah, understandable. I get it.
I don't. So, anyway, then they have to go to a lunatic asylum, which is a quote from the book.
Yeah.
Great.
Did they use the word lunatic?
Yep.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
it's in the summary that...
I just glossed over that.
Yeah, it's in the summary that Simon reads.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Sophie, Simon
Oh.
did show up in this chapter, so you were right about that.
Yeah, and now that Clary called him, Simon knows they're going to Renwick.
Oh, shit.
He's going to show up in the next chapter. He's going to be there.
God damn it. He is, isn't he?
Yeah,
That ding-dong.
because she's going to have to choose between Jace and Simon again for some reason.
Yeah, you're right.
Because we had to have a fucking love triangle in every YA series that came out after Twilight.
Yeah.
Because
They're going to
Twilight.
crowbar Simon in
Twilight.
there somehow. He's going to drive Eric
Yeah.
Zan right into the lunatic asylum, quote unquote.
Yeah. This is why I don't like love triangles,
Yeah.
because they were shoved in our face in literally every book. And it's like,
Yeah.
publishing does this all the time, and they're in their current cycle where I'm getting so frustrated with them again, because it's just like, they keep doing the same thing, same
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like, ugh. So unfortunately, you will have to deal with Jace and Simon love triangle for 3 books.
It's great.
Great.
Only if I read the other 2.
I mostly was referring to Hannah, because I think she will be
Fuck.
peer pressured into reading the other.
Hannah's gonna read them all.
At least I think she
Yeah.
might read the next 2. Will she read the full 6 so she can read the Shadowhunter Academy thing? Maybe.
TBD.
Or the Magnus and Alec series.
Yeah, I do
I
like
think
that.
I think Hannah might read all the Shadowhunter books.
It might
I
happen.
might. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be really annoying. As if I don't have enough books to read already. I have to read
yeah.
all of these ones now, too. I like that not only do we have this love triangle, we do also still have the Jace, Alec, and Magnus eventually love triangle, and also the Jocelyn, Luke, Valentine love triangle. So we're just like,
There's also the Simon, Isabel, and Clary one.
Yeah.
oh, true. I forgot
That's
about
still
that one.
there. And that does
Goddamn.
continue on.
Great.
It truly is just like a mess of love polygons.
Just a mess.
That
It's
is
like
literally
a
what
love
Cassandra Clare is known
dodecahedron at this
for.
time. Oh, God. See, now I
Yeah.
don't want to read it.
Well, do you
Oh.
want to read the...
Never mind, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Alec and Magnus, though. Think about it.
Yeah. I also keep accidentally seeing one specific spoiler about Simon that I need to
Stop
understand.
it.
So I need to at least read until that happens.
Yeah. We need to talk about the werewolves.
Yes.
Because some stuff happens. Yeah, they, I don't know, steal a bunch of cars or something.
Yeah, or just
As one
have
does.
cars.
Or just have them.
They might just have cars. They're people most of the time.
That's
like human
true.
people.
Yeah. And then they go to stop Valentine. Actually, while they're on the way there, we get the Luke knows
Yeah.
that Jace is Jonathan. You know, like,
I don't think he does.
but I think he knows that Michael Whalen didn't have any kids or something.
Michael Whalen did have a kid.
Okay. Or maybe Luke killed him. Like, you know, like,
Oh.
well, like, it seems like Luke knows something that other people don't about Michael Whalen's kid.
Mm.
Because, or something about Michael's death. And that Jace...
I don't think he does. I think he suspects, but
Oh,
like
okay.
he doesn't know.
I mean, he was gone
I
by
think
that point.
He's probably putting pieces together in his head.
Like, while this is
because-
happening and Jace got kidnapped.
There were child bones.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody's baby died. Maybe it was Michael Whalen's.
Yeah. That's rough.
That's rough.
That's
buddy.
rough, buddy.
As
So
Luke
he's
says,
probably
that's
putting
awful.
the pieces together in his head. Like, I don't think he knows, but he probably suspects.
Yeah.
I still don't know what all the pieces are.
Me neither.
Because, like, Luke asks Clary to tell him about Jace. Because he thinks Jace is one of the Lightwood kids. Clary's like, no, he's Michael Whalen's. And then Luke is like, interesting. And
Mhm.
Jace saw Michael die. And Luke finally has, like, an appropriate response. Where Clary says Jace saw him die. And Luke says, that's awful. Poor messed up kid. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the correct response to that information.
It's pretty rough. Yeah.
That sucks. So he doesn't know who Jace is, but he knows something's up, like you said.
Yeah. That's my guess, at least. From what I remember, I'm almost certain he doesn't actually know who Jace... Like, he doesn't suspect that Jace is actually Jonathan.
Right.
Interesting. Because he saw, in his perspective, Jonathan's bones.
Yeah, and like I said, in his head, he's probably, like, putting 2 and 2 together. I don't know, but yeah.
I don't know which
Yeah.
twos these are.
There's so many twos.
There's so many twos.
Yeah. It's
Anyway,
just, we'll never know. I can't guess who is who in reality because we haven't been given that information yet, I think.
Yeah.
But we do get
We're missing
confirmation in this conversation that the werewolves can control their transformation except at the fullest of full moons,
Mm-hmm.
where they do. I don't think that was confirmed previously. We just hypothesized.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was right.
You were
Yeah.
right.
I remembered something correctly.
Yay!
Good job.
I do like the little joke Clary makes after it, where she's like, so when the moon is only partly full, you only feel a little wolfy? And he's like, you could say that. And she's like, well, you can go ahead and stick and hang your head out the car window if you feel like it.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
I liked it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. There are 2 mentions in this chapter of like young wolves and cubs,
Yeah.
which makes me wonder about like the heritability of werewolfness.
Oh.
Because it certainly is treated as like a transmissible disease between like adults. This to me implies that perhaps it is also transmittable from like mother to infant. I hope it doesn't mean that anybody's going around biting children. That's whack.
I was assuming it was like the younger wolves, but like maybe I assume some of them probably have babies.
Wait, sorry, my brain didn't process that properly. Wait, are you referring to the cubs comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says cubs at one point, and then I think he says the young ones
I think
at some
cubs
point.
is just used as a word for new werewolf.
New
'Kay.
werewolves? So they're not like actual children.
I don't think so. I think, like, obviously accidents happen, like kids can get bitten.
Yeah.
And like I don't remember if that comes up at all, but I'm pretty sure cub is in reference to just like a new werewolf. And I
Okay.
think if you have like a male and female werewolf, like I think the kid will be a
Yeah.
werewolf. I think.
Ooh. Do
Don't
both
quote
parents
me
have
on
to
that.
be a
Oh
werewolf?
god, I don't know if she ever actually goes into this.
She's like, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, it wouldn't be genetically heritable because they don't have it. Like, it gets imposed upon them.
Well, but like diseases, you can pass
But
a
it's a
disease
disease,
onto a
like you can
child.
possess. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you can pass AIDS.
Kids get
on,
born
like,
with HIV all the time.
yeah,
All the time. Yeah, but in that case, would it just be the mother who would have to have it? Like, or who would have to be a werewolf in order to pass it on to a child?
I should have looked this up.
Why would you have thought to look this up?
I don't have many thoughts, to be honest. I usually wing it.
Yeah.
So,
I would assume that if
Yeah,
it's
I'm
because it's like magic disease, like
Yeah.
it's a magic demon disease. I would assume that it would be like if either parent is a werewolf, the baby's going to be a werewolf, right? Like,
and I do think that's the case.
If we're assuming this is like a heterosexual coupling that produces a child,
Mhm.
does the mother become a werewolf during
is it
the
only
act-
bites?
Are you asking
or
if it's an STI?
is it an STI?
I guess.
Are you asking if lycanthropy is an STI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
'cause,
Sam,
like,
do you
it
know?
transmits from
No?
saliva to blood. Does it also transmit through different bodily fluids?
Probably.
I would assume
Yeah,
yes.
It
it's
must,
gotta
right?
be. It can't.
Like-
yeah.
Like I
That's
would assume
wild.
it has to.
Imagine you have a one-night stand with someone and then you turn into a werewolf and you're like, why?
I
What is going
mean,
on?
Best case scenario after a one night stand. IMO. I'm a werewolf
True.
now. Hell
I'm
yeah.
a werewolf now.
Oh, it says here. Oh, it is. Okay. Werewolves are
Oh.
turned through a spell. Okay, whatever. And can also be born from 2 werewolf parents, apparently.
Wow.
Two
Though not
werewolf
all
parents.
It's
children of
recessive.
werewolves will necessarily be born with lycanthropy. The child of a mundane and a werewolf has a chance of being infected, but they may also fight off the infection in the womb, thus resulting in a mundane child.
Oh.
While the offspring of 2 werewolves may or may not become a werewolf. If the child is born an ordinary human, they would bear a few unordinary properties. Half or part werewolves are those with the dormant virus, have increased speed, strength, and can pass on the
Whoa.
virus, but can never turn into actual wolves. Where the fuck is that from?
Now, that's the best case scenario.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Apparently, she goes into this. Okay, this is good. The wiki has it goes into in City of Fallen Angels and Lady Midnight. So I have no memory of that. Apparently, she addressed this on her Tumblr, which she is very active on Tumblr, so that doesn't surprise me. And yeah, okay. Apparently, a lot of this was dumped in Lady Midnight, which it's been a little while since I reread that one, so that makes sense.
You weren't like taking notes while reading it either.
No.
Oh, weird.
Weird.
You didn't read it one chapter at a time over the course of 1.5 years?
Yeah.
That's strange of you.
no.
Interesting.
But no, it does look like she addresses it. And yeah, Cassandra Clare is pretty active on like Tumblr and stuff, so she does have like weird answers to these kinds of things sometimes.
Just
so there we go.
Cited from
Found it.
Tumblr. Great.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We didn't answer if it's an STI yet. We should ask her on Tumblr.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think it is. If it
Probably
can
is.
be passed on to a child and it is not genetic in nature, I feel like that.
If it's a disease. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the fact that it can be passed on through the womb means like it can probably be passed through
Making out.
Fluids.
fluid.
Making out. And nothing more.
Fluids.
Just kissing.
Just kissing.
I don't think kissing does it. I don't think kissing does it. Okay, but
Remember
now
when?
No, but if
remember
you
when
have
we
like
talked about
a
this with
cut in your
vampires?
mouth.
If you have,
Yeah.
if you have a canker sore and you kiss a werewolf and you get that
Okay,
werewolf saliva in you,
I don't think it's that
But-
intense.
does it have to? Do you have to be bitten when they're a wolf? If like you get in a bar fight with a human
Oh.
werewolf
Yes,
and they bite you?
Yes, actually, I think that.
Oh no. Now I'm thinking of
creation
someone
I'm
who's
going
like
back. I'm going back.
someone who's like, yeah, I had sex with a werewolf and it turned me into a werewolf, and people are like, that can only happen if it was a wolf at the
I
time.
was like, no, my guy. I mean, listen, they can
Okay.
shift part way. It could be any number of configurations.
It just says that humans are turned when bitten or scratched by a
Or
werewolf.
scratched.
Which,
They're fucking
assume
venomous in their
means-
nails?
yeah,
No,
I
they're
guess it's not
diseased.
venom if it's a disease, yeah.
yeah, I was like, that's a common.
But
Thing
like,
with werewolves.
through what mechanism? Like, do they grow?
Maybe
like
their nail beds have like little venomous pouches in them
Little
that, like, when
pouches?
they go through skin,
Their
react,
fucking
like-
claws are bursting out of their skin every day. So like
That's true. They're
Yeah.
covered in
covered in
they're covered in skin goop.
in viscera. Like what?
Ugh.
Sorry, Sam.
Yeah. No, it's okay. But it says by a werewolf. It doesn't specify
Yeah.
whether they have to be
They
in
have
like
to be
human.
werewolf form.
I think
Okay.
they have to be in wolf form.
That would make sense.
Surely, because like if you're just a guy out living your life and you can turn someone into a werewolf by scratching them, they'd
Wear
be like
gloves.
accidentally turning
Yeah.
people into werewolves on the subway,
yeah.
like in a crowded mall. Like you'd just
Yeah.
be accidentally turning people into werewolves,
Like,
and that's
what-
nonsensical.
Whatever passes on the disease has to develop when they change.
Yeah.
So like there has to
Yeah.
be some sort of fluid produced,
Or there has to be more of it.
or like something
Like the bacteria or whatever grows, right? Because it's also like how
Yeah.
It's
you
like
might.
a cyst.
Yeah, it's also how like you might get like a low like disease count. Like if you have
Yeah.
COVID and you're breathing into a room, but you're on like day 12, then you're not producing as much like virus into the air, right? So maybe it's the same with
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
werewolves.
Yeah, it's just like different phases in the illness.
Yeah, because
for-
like when Luke said he got bitten, he's like, "Oh, the bite doesn't always result in
yeah,
lycanthropy," and it's like, yeah, maybe you could get like a lower dose.
hmm
Anyway,
Yeah.
so they need the like retroviral medications.
yeah, or whatever form of disease it is, whether it's a bacteria or
That's true. Could be bacteria.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing we need to talk about with werewolves is that their clothes turn into their
Yeah.
fur or something.
Their clothes
That's
get overgrown by fur.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that, Cassandra Clare? That
That's-
is the worst part about this to me.
Like
I
we
don't
talked
like it
about
at all.
before, that is, we can't just have naked people running around the book.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's
Uh-huh.
that their clothes, when they transform, the clothes come off somehow and go in a little pouch
And the little
inside
pocket
them.
dimension?
No.
Yeah.
And then when they grow back,
They have
grow back
shorts
into
pockets.
them. Yeah.
We
No,
had to
it's
have
just
we had to have love triangles and werewolves with short pockets ever since Twilight.
those are the two things that made Twilight popular.
But how else do you explain it? There has to be like a clothing pocket inside
Like,
them.
why?
Because
It's
they
the-
transform back out of the wolves fully clothed.
It's the overgrown part that I can't. Like she uses the word overgrown as if the fur just like folds over them like a blanket from nowhere.
Like everybody on the planet who like picture a werewolf like half transformed in your head, and they are wearing like ripped apart pants and a
they're
torn up
bursting out of
flannel
their-
shirt, you know?
Yeah.
Like
They're bursting out of their jorts and their red flannel.
yeah. So like, oh my god, just have I'm sorry. Your werewolves are going to be naked when they're untransformed again. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
That's just the only way it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be that. No, it's fine.
It's a lot. I wonder if that's something they have to learn how to do.
Turning
You
their
know?
clothes into their pocket.
Their clothes
Yeah.
are torn off when they turn. It says right here.
It does not say that.
This is again where she realizes her
in the
mistake.
Wikipedia. Yeah.
She retcons it in
Oh.
Lady Midnight, apparently.
She's like,
Their
"No, you're
clothes
right."
are torn off when they turn.
She's
yeah.
like, you're right. It's sexier if they're naked. You're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's better than clothes overgrown by fur.
Oh!
I
There's
can't.
also... Okay, to become a werewolf, a mundane must be bitten, but the biting werewolf doesn't have to be transformed. This
Oh,
is how
God,
Jordan
what
became
the
a werewolf
fuck?
after
No, but
a
they have to
werewolf
be
bit him in his human
bitten.
form.
They have to be bitten.
They have to
though.
be.
They have to be bitten, but if the werewolf, like, if it's a human if it's a werewolf in human form biting another human, like, that will still transfer it, apparently.
So, like, when Claria was giving Luke one of these, like, steamed bao buns in the truck, if she was, like, giving it to him and he tried to just grab it with his mouth because he's driving, this is not a
Yeah.
real scenario that anyone would do, but if he missed and, like, scratched her finger with his teeth, he'd be like, ah, shit.
I was just thinking
Yeah.
how I cannot think of a single time in my life where I have had my skin broken by like another human's mouth. So I was like, I think it's probably under control. You can just not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she probably had that, but it looks like in City of Fallen Angels, that's where that's confirmed.
There's probably a part where like a werewolf and a human are like both bleeding, and she's like, wait,
Well,
this can't transform them.
Well, there's two pretty big werewolf characters that come up later in the series that aren't Luke.
Mm.
And this is why I was like, I wasn't sure, because I remember one of them having a weird story, and it was the Jordan character that I remember.
Right.
So anyways.
Okay, there's so much werewolf content we have to talk about.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Alaric Wolverine claws,
Yeah.
the chain link fence,
Yeah. Oh,
the
he does.
ribbons. Chain link is made out of steel.
Interesting.
Mhm.
And he raised a lazy hand. Long claws sprouted from beneath his fingernails, and he slashed at the chain link with them, slicing the metal to ribbons. That like
Yeah.
like there's nothing that could do that. Okay, wait. I do
Magic.
want to. I did
Maybe
look up
they're, like, rotating quickly like
a chainsaw,
a chainsaw.
like a diamond blade.
Yeah. He
I
goes,
did.
vroom, 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 and just
Yeah.
chops through with his claws that burst from underneath his fingernails, which is going to live in my nightmares.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I did look up because I was like, okay, well, is there any way to like cut steel without like, okay, like how did people in ye olden times cut metals? And
Yeah.
somebody on Reddit had my exact question, and the way they asked it just destroyed me. So the question is an R blacksmith, and it's
Okay.
any way to cut metal without power tools. And then it's just like, after broken equipment and lack of others, is there any way I can cut metal without power tools? How did medieval smiths cut metal anyway? Did they chew it in half or what? I'm like,
Well, did they? What's the answer?
What's the answer?
the answer is heating up the metal and then
Oh,
hitting
yeah.
it with a chisel when it's hot.
Well, yeah.
So I don't think
well, I think-
Alaric did that. I think he probably chewed it in half or what.
She didn't have. No, Cassandra Clare just forgot to mention that werewolves in this world can also breathe fire, so he just breathed
yeah.
fire on the fence to get it really hot.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, I was like, werewolves run hotter than humans, so like
That hot?
maybe. Well, they're
Well-
magic and they've got demon blood. Maybe they're
That's
like
true.
a fucking furnace.
The
It's
bow
true.
buns,
Maybe they're a nuclear power plant inside.
the bow buns were steaming because Luke is just like running at 300 degrees Celsius.
I'm
He's just holding him
saying.
above his head.
we don't know what the body temperature of a demon is, so we don't
Right.
know how hot a werewolf caused by a demon disease could actually run. Maybe their nails are 300 degrees. Who
Doesn't
knows?
Luke run a bookstore? If he was 300
Listen.
degrees, he would not be able to have a bookstore.
In his
It would
wolf
just
form,
combust.
not in his human form.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why he has
so
the
the
dungeon room. It's
Yeah.
fireproof.
it's fireproof.
So turning into a werewolf is exothermic.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
Clary
Just
got
turning back into a
roasted
human,
with all these
It's
wolves turning
endothermic?
around her.
it's endothermic?
Yeah.
Can they not turn
Yeah.
back if it's really cold because they need to absorb heat from the environment to turn back into a human?
I would believe it.
I mean, that would be an interesting mechanic for sure.
I could be wrong. I don't know enough about it to say that's not how it works, but I think you would still get really hot both times. I don't think it has to be the opposite.
No, it wouldn't have to be, but it's fun.
But it's fun though. They
It's
slurp
fun.
all the warmth out of the air.
It just got real cold all of a sudden.
Okay,
Ooh.
we've got
Someone
nuclear
just
Pack
powered
of werewolves coming to attack
Be careful.
Yeah, we've got nuclear powered dragons, and then the
Yeah.
werewolves transform by producing sodium, and then the water in their bodies combine and it explodes it in an exothermic reaction.
Yeah,
You. I'd buy it.
Yep.
that's fun.
This is the only
So when they turn
logical-
back, they have to like re-up their sodium, so they turn back into a human and they're like, I need a Putin
they
right
eat
now.
a bunch of bow buns for power.
Powered werewolf.
Powered
Again.
werewolf.
I would buy this.
We're all about the most parsimonious explanations here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
I do feel the need to mention that we all do have at least one biology degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swear.
Between the three of us, we have 5 degrees,
Okay, listen.
which is pretty
might-
cold,
yeah.
not as hot as a werewolf. 5 degrees, get it?
Okay. Okay.
Listen, I never did great in chemistry.
Yeah, me
okay?
neither.
Yeah.
Can the people who listen to this podcast not tell that we didn't do great in chemistry or physics?
Which
Oh my
is
God,
like
physics was
surprising
so
because
hard.
I'm the one person who did work in chemistry and physics for like
It's
a
true.
hot 2 years.
That's true. That was not
That was a-
anything relevant to what we're
was a
podcasting
weird
about, though,
time.
unfortunately.
It was
I
relevant when we
mean-
were doing Aragon.
Yeah.
That's true. Nuclear powered dragons. It was important.
Nuclear powered dragons.
We're only like
Exothermic,
3/4.
werewolves? Nah,
Yeah.
not sure.
You're an expert. We're only like 3/4 of the
Yeah.
way through this chapter. We got a mutter.
Oh God.
It's so long.
boy.
Oh no, I'm skipping way too far ahead. Okay.
I mean, we can.
We
They
can.
fight. Somebody
have to.
dies. We don't really care, I guess. It's an
Yeah.
important learning moment for Clary that this female werewolf dies.
Oh yeah, Gretel dies, and
Yeah,
now Alaric is
character growth.
officially Luke's number 2,
Yeah.
which makes me feel suspicious for a variety of reasons.
Yeah. And then they find Jocelyn, who is either science asleep or magic asleep or both. Who knows?
Yeah, the thing that got me about that is she's like asleep on a bed and like chained to it, which all makes sense. She has an IV going into
Yeah.
her, which I'm like, okay, so
So you
She's
can
been drugged,
magic
and
you
then-
can magic her asleep, but you can't magic her hydration.
well, yeah, I was like, oh, there's like an IV, and I'm like, she must have drugs, and then Luke is like, not drugs, magic, and I was like, okay,
They
So
need
what?
the IV to put the magic in her.
yeah, the magic is in the IV bag.
Yeah.
I guess they need to like, yeah, keep her hydrated and fed somehow.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't think you can feed with an IV bag, but I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor
I don't know.
either. That's another
yeah.
part of biology I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
For some reason, I had it in my head that you could give people like a sugar solution, but I don't think that's real. I think I made it up.
I think
Oh,
you
now I'm doubting
can.
myself.
No, I think you can do that
Yeah.
because they do it with children before surgery.
Oh.
Because they're-
Anyway,
we don't know, but
I am an ecologist,
Yeah.
not a doctor.
yeah.
so Luke starts fighting Pangborn, and well, he murdered the other one, so it doesn't really matter. But
yeah, Blackwell.
yeah, Blackwell, who the island is named after.
Yeah,
Eh?
we didn't mention that, but the island used to be Blackwell's Island.
Yeah.
Oh, also, we talked a bit about Shadowhunter names last time, and Luke was like, Renwick, interesting, not a Shadowhunter name. So, like, there clearly is something that makes a Shadowhunter name, but we don't know any more about it this time than we did last time.
Yeah. I think we had established that it was like, yeah, you'll recognize the names because it's like families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Luke is fighting these guys. Clary runs away into a many-doored hallway, which just, like, absolutely sent me because it reminded me of that one chapter in Aragon where he's, like, in the mansion and there were there were scores of doorways.
Just
And I
80
couldn't
doorways.
get past it for several minutes.
I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
80 doorways in this one hallway for
This one
Aragon.
hallway. And this one, look, maybe it's magic. He's like magically expanded the fucking lunatic asylum to
Yeah.
have 80 doors in this one hallway.
Well, it is
We don't
magic
know.
because Clary knows exactly which doorway to go to find Jace, her brother.
Yeah. Her brother. I was about to say, I wonder if it's soulmate magic, and then you said her brother, and now I feel perverted.
It's both. For now, it's both. Now we can be mad at Jace, just like really briefly, that I guess Valentine was like, bruh, I didn't kill your dad. I am your dad. Even though Michael Wayland raised him.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Wait, is this... Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, you putting it together?
Maybe, because Michael Wayland was holed up in his house. Did
Yep.
Oh, was it Valentine?
Valentine killed him and pretended to be him?
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. Interesting.
Oh.
Yep.
So this guy that...
So Valentine faked his death a second time as Michael Wayland.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
This fucking guy. I did not quite make that connection. I thought Valentine was like, no, Jace, I am your father. And Jace was like, okay.
Okay, but
And I was
No.
like, wow.
He recognized him because he
Okay,
is in
that makes
fact
more
the one who
sense.
raised him.
Okay, but Jace did learn that his dad was Valentine and not Michael Wayland.
Yes.
Surely.
And was just
Yes.
like, great.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's fine, don't worry.
I mean, there's still another chapter and an epilogue, so
Maybe he's getting...
Yes, but in this chapter,
Maybe he's playing the long con.
yeah.
against Valentine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it did seem a little out of character of Jace to me in this chapter. That was a bad sentence. Jace seems out of character to me in this chapter.
I think that was
But
also
you
a
have
bad
to-
sentence.
Well, you have to
I
remember
think
though.
that in this chapter, Jace seemed out of character.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
and he was, but I think you have to remember he's like, again, what, a 16, 17-year-old boy
And he just
who's
realized.
just found out his father is still alive.
Hitler.
And his father, but his father happens to be a very charismatic cult
Yeah.
leader.
Yeah.
Like,
I was
with an
yeah.
impressionable 17-year-old boy
Yeah.
who's just realized his father's not actually dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Right?
wondering if maybe he was ensorcelled in some way, and that's why he's like a little weird. Valentine is very persuasive. Could it be partially magic?
Valentine is just a
We don't know.
charismatic cult leader, I think.
I think he's just charismatic. I mean, like,
Dang,
maybe
can you
there's some,
imagine?
like, demon glamour thing going on, but
Valentine's actually a warlock, turns out. Nobody knew.
No.
well...
Keeps his devil horns under his hair.
He's
I
just
think he's
sold
just
his
very-
soul to a bunch of demons.
Yeah, I
Ah.
think he's just very good at
He's just a
talking, and I
dick.
think you have an impressionable
Yeah.
young boy who thought his father was dead, who's got clear daddy issues,
Yeah.
who's now found out his dad is alive. His dad just happens to be, like,
Hitler.
a smooth talker.
Yeah.
Hitler.
Oh, right. But also a smooth
Yeah.
talker. Yeah.
But if you found out, like, this person you've, like, idolized your whole life,
Yeah.
who you thought was
And
your
who you
father,
mourned.
is actually the bad guy, like, you can imagine what that would do to someone. Like, it would just...
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would act in character,
And
you know what
it's-
I mean?
And
Like,
it's only been
true.
like 6 hours, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, terrible people can be good to the people they love, right? So, like, or even if they don't
Yeah.
love them, to a means to an end. So Valentine has probably been like exactly what Jace wants right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, and Jace probably hasn't like finished the thought process yet of what this means, you know?
Yeah. And Valentine has probably just manipulated the story to
Yeah.
make it
Oh, they're making
seem
me
like
look bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
like, and he's like, no, I was doing this for us, Jace. Like, it's all
Yeah.
for us so we can be a family and like all this stuff. And then, so he's spun the story. He's manipulated the whole situation because he's a narcissist.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he's like manipulated Jace to be like, no, yeah. Like, you're my dad. You're everything I want. Like,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Like, of course,
Mhm.
everything you're doing is good. So he's like, it's like a bit of like emotional mental whiplash for Jace. So, like, I can understand why he's being the way he is. Like, it makes
Oh, for sure.
sense.
Yeah, and like we were talking about before, like a character being willing to drop like the objectively good opinion in favor of the one that like benefits them and the people they love is more interesting.
I was wondering, am I confusing this with a different book? It's starting to make a lot more sense that Jace has these objectively abusive memories of his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't his dad like kill a falcon or something that he loved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
It's all coming together. So like, even if we were assuming Jace was a fully recovered normal person, like his abuser is back and has all these like strings
Mhm.
attached
Mhm.
still.
Mhm.
Like knows
Yeah.
exactly how to pull them.
Yeah, and like as we've seen, Jace has clearly talked about very abusive situations
Not seeing
in the
them.
context of him
Yeah.
loving his dad and not realizing it for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, again, like Sam said, he's 17. Like, you can't expect him to be completely objective about his father, who, even
He
if
has
he was a
active
good
daddy
person.
issues about.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and, like, even if he didn't know that Valentine was a bad person, like, Valentine clearly has had Jace, like, in his little spider web for his
Yeah.
entire life, right? Like, it's not like Jace was raised to believe differently. He was raised to believe whatever Valentine wanted him to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's hard to break away
Exactly.
from when you're that young.
Wow, fun.
Exactly.
What a good time we're all having
What a
here
good
today.
fun time.
I love psychoanalyzing characters.
Great.
I wish I knew more about it.
Characters in books always extremely mentally well.
Yeah.
Everything's going
Is
great.
anyone mentally well?
Yeah.
No.
No. And that's the whole chapter.
Is that it? Are we done?
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then Valentine shows up and is like, oh my God. Chase is like, that's my dad there. And Clary's like,
Oh my
fuck, because he's also my
She's like,
dad.
wait, he's my dad. I didn't. Okay. I'll save this, actually.
Okay.
Because I accidentally read the first
First
sentence of the next chapter.
This?
Yeah. I know. It's a crime that none of us have ever
Unbelievable.
committed.
Wow.
My eyes just went there before I could
Oh
stop
my
them.
God,
Wait, how
imagine
much of
doing
it did
that.
you read?
Literally one sentence.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So the sentence I'm about to read
Yeah. Great
That's
opportunity.
the one.
Because we're going
Yeah.
to talk about what happens next.
Wow.
So the next chapter is chapter 23 called Valentine.
Whoa.
And the sentence is, I see I've interrupted something, said Valentine, his voice as dry as a desert afternoon.
Okay, so maybe I read two sentences.
You've interrupted
read-
your two children about to make out.
Yeah, because I was wondering throughout this chapter and from before if Valentine knows who Clary is.
I don't think
And
so.
I don't think he does, which
No.
is interesting.
Well, because he
It
didn't
could be a
know.
problem for later.
He didn't know that Jocelyn was pregnant.
Yeah,
She's like a splitting image of her, though.
right? Like,
That's
it sort of seems
true.
like he could have figured it out.
I won't say anything.
And, like, Clary is the one who had the cup. They look alike.
Mhm.
She was at the Institute doing Shadowhunter things.
Yeah, but
She's-
Clary didn't have the cup when Valentine showed up. Hodge did.
That's true.
And Valentine has been,
Clary
like,
was in the room,
separated
but-
from his son for 6 years.
Yeah.
He's focused on getting Jace back, you know?
Yeah.
When he
he
showed up.
fully ignored Clary
Yeah.
the one time they were in a room together. Like, I don't even know if he looked at her, really.
No.
But also now she's showing up with Luke. Like, I feel like there's signs.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how that plays out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess because when Clary met Jace, she didn't ever say anything like, oh, and he looks just like me. Or like, and he looks
Yeah.
just like my mom. Which I guess siblings can, like, not look very much like each other, but
Yeah. Especially, like, out of context when you're not expecting it.
yeah.
You might just be like, wow,
Siblings.
a white guy. Like, okay.
Yeah, because they're not actually related. We are pretty sure on that front.
We're pretty sure.
They're
Pretty
not
sure.
related.
They're not related.
pretty sure.
says
There's
Sam.
no actual incest in this book, and as I said that, I did forget about one moment.
No!
Like, we can't confirm that they're not actually related.
Well, because it's like,
Yeah.
somebody else-
It's so hard to talk.
Someone
about
else does
this.
incest.
like, somebody else has to be Clary's brother then.
There we go.
And so it's Alec who's in love with Jace or something. I don't know. It's somebody.
Oh,
Who's-
so Alec and
Simon?
Jace are the incest one. Oh my god, Simon's actually...
Do we
Hi,
have
JC.
Dying.
Sam,
Yes.
Sam, have we met the character who's actually Clary's brother yet?
No, you don't
Okay.
meet him till book
Is it-
3.
Oh.
Is it Sebastian?
No, it's Jace.
Just because I don't know who that is, but you've mentioned him as being on the cover of one of the books.
Well, if it,
His
Sam will
real
tell
name
us
is not Sebastian.
his real name is
His real name
Jonathan
is Jonathan Christ.
His real name is Jonathan.
yeah, I
Hmm.
think that Jace is actually Michael Whalen's son.
He's not.
Ah, damn it.
What
And
the
that's the
fuck?
fun part.
Who is he
Who is
even?
this child?
He's a regular guy.
It's a twist.
Oh,
They just
my
found him.
God.
It's a twist.
It's a twist.
I mean, Jace's mom died.
Listen,
in
I can tell
childbirth.
you all
We're gonna,
at the end
yeah,
of this.
we're
Yeah,
not
we'll
gonna
find out.
speculate. We're gonna find out in the summary episode when Sam tells us all the goodies. Anyway, what's happening in this chapter? Valentine realizes she's his kid also.
Yeah, because she's gonna yell it at him.
And Simon shows up, and Jace has to decide between Clary and Valentine. And I don't really know what that looks
Oh.
like.
So Clary is deciding between Simon and Jace is deciding between Clary and Valentine. And then I guess Valentine is deciding between Jace and Simon.
I guess logically,
Just
yeah.
to like link link
No,
the sides.
Valentine is deciding between Jace and Clary.
Right. And Jocelyn maybe. Because
And
like clearly
Jocelyn.
he has her for a reason. I don't really know what the reason is.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I'm really grossed out by the
nurse.
fact that Jocelyn is wearing clothes that Clary's never seen before. And she's also unconscious. Like, that's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
The major ick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the, like, manacles or the science implements next to her.
No, it's
Okay.
it's more the implications.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, there's only one other, and that's the epilogue, right?
Right? Like, this is the
Yeah.
last chapter,
This
right?
is the last chapter before the epilogue.
Hot damn.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna read it.
A lot of stuff has to happen. I'm trying to decide if Jocelyn is awoken to realize both of her kids are alive. I can't
Dang.
decide if that's happening here or not.
Surely
Probably.
they can't rescue Jocelyn in this book. Because there's 2 more books in the trilogy.
Either they rescue Jocelyn or they rescue Jace. I don't know. One
Yeah.
or the other. Maybe Simon
Maybe they
gets taken
kill
away
Jocelyn.
this time, finally gets kidnapped, like I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
begging the book to do.
again, he did get kidnapped that one time.
Yeah, but it wasn't for very long.
Mm.
Somebody's
It's true.
gonna have to end up not being saved or murdered. I don't know. Something's gonna happen.
Also, Alec is still dying.
Oh yeah, Alec's dying. Well, he can't die. He has his own book.
Yeah, meanwhile, back at the ranch, Alec is on death's door, and hopefully we resolve that.
Yeah, like how is that? I'm starting to think maybe you're right, and Magnus does save him
He's just gonna
off screen.
like, Deus ex Magnus.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of myself.
Oh, maybe Clary will tell Jace that Hodge did not, in fact, save Alec. They gotta go back.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Because they're parabatai.
They're parabatai.
Alex gotta help him. Nope, Jace
The
has
other way
gotta help
around,
him.
yeah.
Yeah. Which one is which? Alex, dad is Valentine.
He would know if Alec died, so...
Oh, would he feel it?
Oh, yeah. Like,
Dang.
it's, like, a thing.
Oh, no.
That sucks.
They're gonna have
Wow,
to
I
kill
hope it
Luke
happens at some point.
They're gonna have to kill
Oh, no, they're
Luke
gonna have to
to
kill Luke.
damage Valentine.
Ah, shit. Yeah,
Ah,
can you
shit.
unparabatai?
Oh, right.
Well, Luke doesn't have the rune anymore, so Valentine would have, like... Actually, I don't
So they have unparabatied
remember.
themselves.
I was gonna say
I
maybe
believe
that's why
so.
Luke doesn't want Valentine to die.
Yeah, because
No,
it'll kill him.
because he has demon blood now, I don't think his skin can hold runes, so I
Oh.
don't...
Oh.
I think the parabatai rune would be burned. I feel like this is explained later in the books.
Yeah, we'll
and I don't
figure it out.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I think those were good guesses.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. On that note, that's not on that note. On the way we normally do this podcast, let's talk about what else we're reading. Again. We're recording a lot very close together. But I specifically, because there's a little bit of pressure sometimes to start something new when you're recording a new episode of the podcast, I decided to reread the middle grade series that I love so much. And I've reread one and a half of the middle grade books of the Enchanted Forest quadrology. So I read Dealing with Dragons, and then I started reading Searching for Dragons. And they're just, I love them so much. I love them so much. They're so good.
Dang.
They're so good.
Nice.
That's what I did. What about you guys?
Listen, to
Yeah.
nobody's surprise, I've made, like, no progress on anything. I spent the time between the last recording and this recording in a pool teaching students how to scuba dive, so my brain isn't there. But I, like Hannah, have fallen victim to the Goodreads award things. I don't know
Mini
what
challenges or whatever.
the challenges. And one of them is like the Century Challenge or whatever, and it's like a bunch of the best books throughout the year. And I have zero interest in reading classics. So, guess what the 2023 book is?
Is it Fourth Wing?
It's Fourth Wing!
Are you rereading Fourth Wing?
I am!
I saw that you were doing that.
I'm listening to the graphic audiobooks, but because I am annoying, I want the award to count. So Goodreads just has the normal Fourth Ring edition, but I'm listening to the graphic audio.
Hell yeah.
Of it.
How is it so far?
My only annoyance is that it's the same voice actor for Violet as it is for Feyre in the graphics. I wish they had changed like just the main actor, because I'm like, it's a little bit distracting that it's like the exact same voice.
Yeah.
But I haven't made it very far. Like, she hasn't even crossed the parapet yet, so
Dang.
you know.
Yeah.
But that's that's my update.
I have
Nice.
that same problem with the TJ Klune audiobooks. In
Oh,
the
yeah.
in the Lives of Puppets, one of the little robots sounds exactly like Chauncey from Cerulean Sea, and I was like, what's going on?
Right? And especially if you
they're
listen to
basically
them
the
like
same guy.
Yeah.
if you listen to them like in close succession, it can like it kind of takes you out of it just a little bit. And like it's not a discredit to the girl who's doing the voice. It's just I wish they had like put her in maybe one of the like other female characters and someone else take the lead role. So that is my only complaint thus far.
Wow, how fun.
That's all I have. And I also am just like, I love the fact that there's this list of like all the best books of the year. It's like all these like award-winning books, and then it's just like Fourth Wing, and I'm like, I love this.
That's the one.
It's like
I'm not even mad about this. I'm like, no, this is fantastic.
Perfect.
This is the one for me.
Like, I'm just a big fan. That's it.
All right. I listened to Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood, which is like a novella length, and that was fun. I enjoyed that. And now I'm listening to, I just started today, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alir Sainz, which is like YA coming of age queer romance, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really good so far. I
Ah.
listened to like 40% of it today while I was making supper, and I was like, this is
Wow.
actually
This is actually good.
really good. This is actually really good. Oh, now that I'm looking at it on Goodreads, though, one of my Goodread friends did rate it a 2-star, so
Oh,
I guess things might take a turn.
let's hope it nails the
I've seen
landing.
good things about that one.
I've heard good things about it, too.
Yeah, like, I think it's overall well received.
It's
So,
supposed to be a good one. Yeah, it has a 4.29 average
yeah.
rating, which is pretty good. And then I'm now halfway through Fool's Quest, so still plugging on that one.
Great.
And when you hear this episode, perhaps some of us may have started our July book club book. Sam, what are we going to be reading in July?
Oh. Immediately forgets everything in her brain. We're gonna be reading The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Hopefully I
Yay.
said that
Yay.
right.
I think so, but I could be
Seems
wrong.
correct. Yeah.
I've had a lot of books on my TBR for a while. I think this one
Might
has
be the
been one of the
longest.
ones on the longest because I bought this ebook. Wait, let me double check this. I think when I was in grad school,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
because I heard about it like a while ago. So I've been wanting to read this for a while. Okay, no, it wasn't too bad. It says it came out in 2017. I was in grad school, so
That's
not
8
too
years
far off.
ago.
I know.
That's still a while ago. Sorry.
No, it's
Has
still a
been
while
a
ago.
little bit of a
Anyways,
while.
and so I've wanted to read it forever. And then Sophie read it.
Mhm.
And then I wanted to read it more. And then my boyfriend bought me the physical copy, like one of the first books he's bought me while we were dating, before he realized buying me books was a terrible idea. And then he stopped buying me books.
It might be because of this book that he stopped buying you books, because you've owned the whole series and haven't read it.
I don't have the whole series.
Oh,
I only
okay.
have the first one.
Oh, well.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, we're reading that because my birthday month is spent
Reading
I need
reading the book
books.
that's been on the shelf the longest.
Because Sophie's already read it, and I don't care.
I've read it so long ago that I don't remember what happened anyway.
Perfect.
It did hurt my feelings a lot at the end. No, I do remember the ending because it hurt my feelings.
Whoa.
Not the first book. The last one. I'm excited to reread it because I really liked it. It was really good.
That's that.
Great.
That's that. Great. Okay. If you liked this chapter of Midlight Crisis, please consider rating and reviewing us on Spotify or your podcatcher of choice. You can talk to us and find fun-related content on social media sometimes. We are at Midlight Pod on all of the things for the most part, and all chapters of the show thus far are available on our website, midlightpod.podbean.com, and on YouTube.
And Hannah, when her apartment is a mess and she's afraid to invite anyone over, public access to the ruin is forbidden.
I need that, like, on a sign for my door.
Yeah. Like in the style of like the Hobbit, no admittance party business or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But it just says no access to the ruin or whatever.
No access to the ruin.